Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to my special Brussels Under Attack. State Department. Brussels attacks show terrorists under pressure. For the State Department, Tuesday's terror attacks in Brussels signaled that the Islamic State and other terrorist organizations are under pressure. The attacks at the airport and a metro station Tuesday morning killed at least 34 and injured hundreds. ISIL claimed responsibility for the attacks within hours, though Kirby stated that he was not himself, saying the group was responsible. ISIL, Kirby continued, is under increasing pressure in Iraq and Syria, and we are seeing them result to more traditional terrorist tactics like suicide bombs and car bombs and those kinds of things, because they aren't able to hold and grab the territory they once were, because they are suffering a lot of hits to their resources. Obama vows to go after Islamic State. President Barack Obama on Tuesday vowed to go after the Islamic State in Iraq and Syria in the first apparent official confrontation that U.S. believes the terrorist group was indeed behind the Brussels attacks that left at least 34 dead. Obama also hit back at side critics, including Republican presidential candidates, who called on him to cut short his historic trip to the island nation and then Argentina. The Belgium capital was rocked early Tuesday by twin explosive attacks at an airport terminal and subway station that produced horrific images and raised terror concerns worldwide. The Islamic State on Tuesday afternoon took credit for the devastating bombings and warned of dark days ahead for the West. The terrorist group thanked Allah for the attack's success at casting fear and terror in hearts of the crushed in their own land. In the statement released in Arabic and French described how soldiers of the Kapata used suicide belts and bombs to attack locations chosen with precious around Brussels, including the airport and metro station, in order to kill a large number of Qarsadar. Obama also spoke about the attacks earlier on Tuesday as he addressed the Cuban people about the veracity of embracing human rights and democracy. State Department John Kirby said late Tuesday that the terror attacks signaled that the Islamic State and other terrorist organizations are under pressure. 8 Americans were reportedly wounded in the attacks, including U.S. serviceman and several members of his family. State Department spokesman John Kirby said on Tuesday afternoon that officials were not yet aware of any U.S. facilities. Obama on Tuesday afternoon ordered that American flags be flown at half-staff at the White House and at all public buildings and grounds. Brussels was locked down after the explosions, which the Belgian government immediately said were acts of terrorism. Belgium authorities also evacuated the evaluated the terror threat level to 4, its highest tier, which serves as a warning that further attacks could occur. Even as officials across 2 countries scramble to understand the nations of the attacks, Donald Trump on Tuesday morning quickly pronounced on the news to renew his calls for stronger border security, saying his commitment on the issue has propelled him to the top of the Republican field. In Washington, D.C., House Speaker Paul Ryan said he had reviewed updates about the attacks and has absolutely no reason to believe there is a threat to the U.S. Capitol complex. Metro Transit Police said they found no credible threats to the public transportation system, but authorities increased security patrols in response to the explosives on board. Amtrak said extra officers have been deployed to enhance security, and Delta diverted flight from Brussels after the explosion. In New York, Governor Andrew Cuomo announced stepped-up security at airports, bridges, tunnels, and mass transit systems. Hillary Clinton quickly called on for intensifying of efforts to keep America safe while also rebuking Trump and his unrealistic plan to close the borders. Hours Ted Cruz seized on the incident Tuesday morning to slam Obama for his refusal to acknowledge radical Islamic terrorism. Hours later, Cruz ramped up his rhetoric call for a halt on refugees coming from nations with ties to terrorist groups and new powers for law enforcement to patrol and secure Muslim neighborhoods before they become radicalized. In wake of the attacks, Obama faced some pressure to cut short of his trip to Cuba and then Argentina, which has been a legacy-making achievement for him. Cruz called on Obama to either return to the United States or head to Brussels to address the security threat. Despite the dysfunction throughout Congress, many Republicans and Democrat lawmakers stood with Obama on the significance of defeating the Islamic and stand beside American allies. And that does it for the Riley. That does it for my special right here on the Riley King newscast. I hope you all have a great rest of your Tuesday night. Good night, everyone. Bye.